And we're also joined by Arirang culture correspondent Song Yujin. Welcome, Yujin.
Hello, Soa, and hello, Bella, and hello to our viewers of the Culture Wave. I'm Song Jin. I'm Arirang culture correspondent.
So, Yujin, what story do you have for us today?
Well, I think you guys will both know that it's been nearly a month since South Korean author Han Kang won the Nobel Prize in Literature, and her historic win not only put the spotlight on her and Korean literature, but also the translators who really helped bring her works to readers worldwide. So, in light of this, I explored how South Korea is nurturing the next generation of literary translators by visiting the place where these talents are trained.
When Professor Yoon Sunme heard about Han Kang's Nobel Prize win, one thought stood out.
It's sparking strong curiosity among international publishers of Korean literature. This could lead to a greater demand for translators.
Professor Yoon, who grew up in Argentina, is one of Korea's first literary translators and has nearly 30 years of experience. In 2012, she introduced Han Kang's The Vegetarian to Spanish-speaking readers, marking the book's first Western language translation. For her, translation is more than just switching words to another language.
You're conveying hidden meanings, intentions, and symbolic nuances. You have to understand the author's purpose, the character's psychology, and how readers will interpret it. It's like conducting an orchestra, balancing all these elements for a translation that's faithful.
Since 2010, Professor Yoon has been nurturing future translators as an instructor at the Literature Translation Institute of Korea's Translation Academy.
South Korea is unique in having a government-backed institution for training literary translators. A recent amendment to the Literature Promotion Act even proposes graduate programs in literary translation, showing a growing recognition of the need for experts to introduce Korean literature worldwide.
With courses in 7 languages, the Academy enrolls around 150 students, 90% of whom are international, and covers more than just books. Students also translate webtoons and films.
Since we are having to be in contact with Korean literature, we get to meet some writers, and we have an amazing library here. We can read a lot of books.
I think I like to translate novels in a way that brings them closer to the Spanish readers.
Despite these opportunities, translating is still a challenging path.
Translation grants haven't increased since I started 30 years ago, so it's tough to make this a full-time career. I tell my students to consider translation as a side job. Breaking in is also hard. The Daesan Foundation is the only place new translators can apply for work, as most publishers prefer established names.
Thus, it's time to come up with some solutions.
We need more platforms where translators and publishers, both local and international, can connect. Creating opportunities for new translators through these platforms, or requiring the use of rookie translators for projects, even small ones, would give them practical experience to build a full-time career.
A powerful translation gives literature a new dimension. With efforts like these, Korean literature could reach readers far and wide.
Eugene, these translators really seem to be the hidden heroes behind Korea's global success in literature. And it's really not just a word-for-word process, as we see in your report, and which I have to agree with because I actually translated a couple of books, and it can be strenuous.
I think you know this really well, Soa, but literary translation is not just about being fluent or native in a language, because as mentioned in my report, it goes beyond technical translation, directly translating word by word. So, for example, Professor Yoon, who you saw in my report, she's actually more comfortable in Spanish because she grew up in Argentina, but she managed to build a successful career by translating Korean literature into Spanish, which is really remarkable. And for her, a good translation feels so natural that readers don't even realize it's translated. And this not only requires great linguistic skills, but also a deep understanding of both cultures, which is why the Translation Academy, run by the LTI Korea, is offering Korean cultural studies to its regular curriculum.
That's a good idea.
That shows really importance of the curriculum itself. And with Han Kang's Nobel Prize win, it's drawing so much attention to her books.
Right.
People are probably curious, is there any place where they could read Han Kang's books in their own languages?
There actually is. So the National Library of Korea, located in Seoul's Seocho-gu district, it actually set up a special display featuring Han Kang's works. So here, this collection includes 14 of her major books, from early works like Your Cold Hands to internationally acclaimed titles like The Vegetarian and We Do Not Part. And specifically for international visitors, the library offers 79 translated versions of her books in 28 different languages. So this display is located in the main building's literature room, open every day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., except on the second and fourth Mondays and public holidays. And if you want to visit, make sure to sign up as a user at the library's official website before visiting.
All right, that is almost just around the corner of our station.
Right, very
so let's
close.
keep note of that, Bella.
For sure.
All right, thank you very much for that, Yujin.
My pleasure.